Season's greetings and happy holidays. My name is Ben and welcome back to the bench, guys, for another episode of our 12 Sprues of Kit-mas holiday build series. I'm really excited today, guys, because we're moving on to day number 4. So far, we are really cranking through these kits, so I'm very pleased. Let's go ahead though, grab that box and check out what we have in store for us today. So here we are, day number 4. We've got 1, 2, and 3 all nicely wrapped up. So we're gonna move on here with day 4. Punch on through here, fish around. There we go, got that label. I kind of have a feeling I know what this is. The label's a bit on the smaller side, so let's check it out. And yes, looks like we've got the 1/72nd scale Airfix Messerschmitt 109 E4. So that's awesome. Now last year I built the Hawker Hurricane from the same series, and that was a really fun kit to make. So hopefully this one is just as equally fun. Let's go ahead and grab the plastic there and check it out. Very typical Airfix, kind of that bluish gray plastic. Recessed panel lines. Detail looks great. Not necessarily as much 3D detail on the internals of the cockpit, but that's okay. You're not really going to see much in there anyway. So I think this is going to be a really fun build. So moving forward here, guys, let's go ahead and jump into our first time lapse. Let's go ahead and start building up some of these parts, the wings built up, and get everything assembled, get the cockpit finished, get it painted, get some detail work done as well. And then we're going to go ahead and finish off with some primer, some pre-shade, and get those yellow wingtips all nicely painted up as well. This is going to be fun, guys. I can't wait to see how this turns out. Let's go ahead and just jump in there. Let's start having some fun, guys. right, everybody, we are back, and as you can see, the 109 is looking the part. That took a little bit of some time getting there, but we have everything primed. We have the pre-shade on there. We've got the yellow wingtips painted on. I use an RLM 02 for the cockpit. We have that nicely detailed, and of course, the canopy all nicely masked off. The canopy was a little hard to mask, though. I will say that the framing was kind of soft. Again, I've actually had that happen with multiple kits so far, just in this series alone. So maybe it's just something in 1/72 scale. I don't really know, but it worked out fine. We have everything painted up, masked off. We were ready to go ahead and move on to camo. Now for the camo pattern, we're going to go ahead and do an RLM, I think light blue on the bottom section and then up on the fuselage sides. And then we'll have, I believe it's a splinter camo of RLM 02 and 71 with an RLM 02 cross hatching along the sides of the fuselage. At least that's what I think I read. So we'll have to go ahead and check it out, and we'll just follow the instructions as much as we can. But first thing we got to do is we got to mask off these yellow wingtips to make sure we don't have any overspray on any of these yellow areas. I did end up using some Stauner's white primer over each of the yellow tips as well as the tail. There's a bit of a yellow triangle on top of that tail. Yellow can be kind of tough to paint sometimes too. So let's go ahead and get this all masked up, and then we'll move on to some detail painting and start in with that time lapse. So with the wingtips all nicely masked off, we're just going to do some detail painting here. We have our RLM color there for the propeller blades, and we're going to come in with some silver. We've got the yellow nose cone, so that's all painted up. Let's move on to our camo pattern. Like I mentioned before, we're going to go ahead and do a splinter camo. They're not free-handed. They are very, very exact. So we're going to have to use some masking tape to go ahead and achieve those lines, but that shouldn't be a big deal. Let's go ahead and jump in there, get everything painted up, get some detail work done, and then hit that gloss coat and see what we can do, guys. Let's keep this going. All right, everybody. So we are back. The future gloss coat has been nicely cured and we are ready to move on to our decals. Now this decaling process is going to be fairly simple. We'll start with the stenciling first. Go ahead and make sure we get all those down. There's a lot of them here though, so it may take a little bit of some time. I'll try to give you the abridged version though. And then we'll move on to our main decals for the iron crosses and all the numbers and whatnot. So let's go ahead and jump into our last time lapse, guys. Get the decals all nicely applied, seal it up with some future, then come back in. I'm going to keep it a little cleaner in terms of weathering. We're going to use some Tamiya Panaline accent. We're going to get some powders going, hit it with a flat coat. And I think at that point, we're going to call it quits for day number 4. So let's go ahead and keep this going, guys. See how it turns out. Alright guys, we are back, and after about 9 hours of accumulated footage, we are finished with day number 4. So like I said, 9 hours on the bench, day number 4 in the history books, and I gotta tell you, I loved every minute of this project. Let me go ahead and grab the finished product here, drop it right there for you. There we go. This is the finished 1/72nd scale BF-109E4 by Airfix. If you guys like 1/72nd scale, you guys enjoy Battle of Britain aircraft, this is a fantastic build, guys. No real issues with fit, everything just dropped right into place. Decals worked, which is fantastic. Didn't have any silvering issues, unlike some of the Academy kits I have built. Detail was nicely done. So honestly, yeah, what a great little model to build. Let me zoom in for you so you can see some of the details. We've got some cross hatching along the side of the fuselage with RLM02. We've got our splinter camo. Honestly, I kept it on the cleaner side just because this is an early war Battle of Britain aircraft, and I don't think it would have been nearly as disheveled or ruined as some of the later war aircraft would have been. The cockpit is actually quite well detailed for 1/72nd scale. Had a little bit of trouble masking the framing, but not a big deal. Added in easy lines, so that's cool. Only thing I could have done to add a little bit more detail would have been to add in some brake lines, but I didn't do that. I just didn't really feel like it, to be honest. Otherwise, a really, really fun little model to make. But that is it, guys. We are done with day number 4, and again, I don't really have anything to complain about here on this kit. If I had to choose anything, would be that canopy was a little bit light on the framing, so it was kind of hard to mask, but for the most part, almost fell together. You could have shaken it in the box and it would have come out of 109. So easy to build. I know it's only day 4, but this is honestly probably going to be one of my favorite builds, especially with the camo pattern and the yellow wingtips. That is so striking. It was honestly a really fun kit to make. So we are done here. I highly recommend this one if you're interested in Battle of Britain aircraft and 1/72nd scale. So this is going right in the display case next to that Hurricane for kind of a Battle of Britain motif. And we're going to go ahead and call it quits and move on to day number 5. So until our next episode, guys, you know the drill. Go out there, get yourself some bench time, have some fun, build something cool. Hope your holiday season has gotten off to a really good start. So we will see you back here on the next episode of the 12 Sprues of Kit-mas here on Ben Builds. Thanks so much, everybody. Take care, and we'll see you soon.